And that's how you get to that point is the people that have the information get into the lottery stacked in their favor.
But isn't the whole notion of having a lottery-based school to provide equal opportunity for all potential participants?
But you still have to apply. So you have to make the act of applying. So that's a step that a parent has to take. One, they have to have knowledge of it. Mm-hmm. One, they have to have time.
You could argue that they're being informed, because the district goes to pretty good lengths to make certain that everybody's informed of it. The problem really, as I see it, is that you've got a body of students who will get into the program and a body of students who won't get into the program, and that just by virtue of that. Yeah, they have and have not. So you're creating a caste system within your district. Now that's leads to my larger point: is what is a free market system in education other than a caste system? I'm not speaking as if I were an educrat, but what I'm saying is that a private school will have certain criteria that are required of its students so that they can qualify to get into it. And not every student will qualify, but the next private school they may be able to qualify for. I guess what I'm saying is that in a private school scenario where vouchers and tax credits are allowed, we would have a caste system based on what the parents want, and not necessarily just sheer random chance as to whether somebody can get into it. I took a long way to get to a short
I get it.
distance. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, I think that is, in my opinion, I think you're creating, again, and there's already, rift already in the district with this, and in my opinion, it's also to keep another school open, which, again, I was on the divestiture committee, and we told them to get rid of all 4 of them, and 2 of them I think they were going to, and Olson and Pilgrim Lane, they wanted to hold on. One was in case they did remodeling at Northport and needed to move them. We're not going to do that. So one of those needs to come off. The second is just to keep the school. They think that holding on and controlling property is in the benefit of the school district, and in my opinion, it's not.
No, call me crazy, but I think Pilgrim Lane is...
Well, you said, come on.
Okay, well, I think, I know Olson is where they're aiming this. I think Pilgrim Lane's where they really want this to be.
The cost is astronomical.
Yeah, I know. It costs $15 million to redo the building. But I think Pilgrim Lane, in a perfect world, is where they would put this, not Olson.
Because they want the constituents in Plymouth to come
right,
back
exactly.
to them. Because
it's all about the constituency and the tax base that's in that neighborhood.
And we should mention, too, on top of this, the levy process. And one of the things that districts, cities, counties have to do in December is finalize their levies. You'll be happy to know, ladies and gentlemen, here in District 281, our levy is going to have a 0.4% reduction. They went from 54.2 million to 54 million. So we are saving big time money right now.
All right.
Okay.
We can hire several more bus drivers, I think.
Well,
which leads to the next section.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Well, yeah. I want to jump to the testing real quick. Ron's got some charts on this. The MCA, which is the state curriculum, and the AYP, which is the federal, where every school is going to be proficient by 2014. Did you know that?
I'm waiting.
Yeah. We had 2 schools pass for the 3rd consecutive year, the 2 schools that you just mentioned.
Correct.
Spanish Immersion and Zachary Lane. And the MCA tests were, we were about 10 points behind the state average right now in the MCA tests. So not great news from that. What kind of charts you got there for us, Ron?
This was the last school board meeting, and those were on the agenda. Looking at the reading, and we'll just go 2010, 2011. Robbinsdale was at 65% the last 2 years. The state went from 72 to 74. So if you look at that from an achievement gap, we'll use terminology that they're using out there. the achievement gap increased by 2. We didn't improve at all, and the rest of the state improved, so we fell behind. I would say that that's not the right direction to be going, and that's the reading, and that's the all grades.
Okay, so you want to actually have more achievement? Is that what I'm reading here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
And
thought
then,
you wanted
in
to dumb
math,
everyone down to the
and then
same.
math. Now this was the one that we got to spin a bit because we had a new test for the elementary and middle school, and we had the same test for the high school. So we've got a big break, but the gap again on the old scale was Robbinsville was at 54, the state was at 65. So that was a gap of 11. The new scale,
54 and 55.
54% passing the test for Robbinsdale, 65.
65.
Sorry,
heard
did I miss?
55.
Okay, I may have said that. I'm dyslexic, so I could have put a 5 in there rather than a 6.
And
so
he's an
65.
accountant.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why I have a computer that
Yeah,
talks to me.
that's right.
So 11% there. And on a new scale, Robbinsville's at 44, and the state is at 56. So that's a 12% gap. So again,
Ouch.
we lost 1%. And again, that's across all of them. So some of them were up, some of them were down. But
So if we wanted to spin that, okay, we
Yeah.
could say that 56%.
Let's pretend we're in a school board meeting.
Yeah,
How can we
50
spin
well,
that?
I'll spin it the other
Okay,
direction.
okay.
44% of our kids in the middle school and elementary schools were able to pass the test. That means 56%.
well, no,
did
that's
not.
senior
Or-
too. That
Oh,
that
that's
covers
everything?
all. Yep.
Okay.
Because there's tests from 3 to 5, and then there's the 6 to 8, and then there's
The
one in,
MCAs now. Yeah,
one
okay.
in high school. I think is at math is at 11th grade.
Yep, 11th grade.
So that's 56% are not at the level they need to be.
Right.
I mean, that is a
They're not passing.
huh.
And again, that takes into account, you've got special ed, and you've got other people.
So
and
they're
again,
all tested the same as. Is there a?
there's the same tests. They just have, and again, because I had a special ed, they have options where they may have a one-on-one, so they may not take it. They may have somebody read to them or make the answers and stuff for them. So there's accommodations that are done for special ed, but it's the same test.
It's not like Atlanta, though, where they go in and actually have the teachers change the answers. On
I
the
have
test.
no information regarding that. If you want to start a rumor, Jerry,
No,
you can. I thought that was Washington, D.C.
No, that was Atlanta.
Yeah,
And
no.
also in Philadelphia.
I thought it
by
was
the way.
D.C. too.
Folks, numbers are being cooked out there.
Well, only cooked.
Well,
One
I'm not
way.
implying anything
Yeah,
here.
no, you're not doing
no.
that. Well, I mean, you just think about 56% of the kids not being at the level they have to be at, and who's held accountable if 56? The majority of kids can't.
In public education, no one is responsible.
Well, and there are, again, if you look at the federal program, the No Child Left Behind, there is penalties.
There are after 5
consequences.
years or something.
Well, no,
isn't there?
it starts with 3, but there's more serious
okay.
consequences if you're on there for 5 years. But again, I don't think that there's got to be some tweaks. And again, this, in my opinion,
Nobody
is not
likes
the right.
NCLB, by the
Well,
way.
it's not the right way
Yep,
of looking
yep.
at it
Yeah,
because
federal
again,
money's
there's a
not the
flaw
way
in the
to do it.
system. You're taking and comparing the 3rd graders last year to the 3rd graders this year.
yeah.
So it's not the same 3rd graders. Those were the 2nd graders last year. MAP, again, and I give credit, MAP is a better, you then look at each student and their progress. And that's a better way of looking at annual progress or annual achievement as opposed to looking at different groups.
But let's ask a basic question here. And the basic question is this. We have a huge Department of Education out in Washington, D.C. that we send.
Too big.
Yeah, that we send a lot of revenue to. And they spend a lot of it out in D.C. and regulate and send regulations and tests and all, and whatever information back to the local
It's
district.
a net negative.
It's a
to
net
send your
negative.
money
I mean,
there.
why are we sending $1 out to Washington and getting how much? 80 cents, 70 cents back
If we're
we're
lucky.
lucky.
in goods
Yeah.
or services.
All right. Well, I hate to say we have to stop it there. All right. Well, hopefully we've given you some information. Hopefully you can do some research on this and get up to speed and get at these meetings and watch them on TV, Channel 22. Same Comcast that you watch me on. All right. For Mr. Lindberg, Mr. Stoffel, have a great Thanksgiving too.
Yep. We're out of here.
Bye-bye.